And we're back. After a week off, it is great to be here. I wonder if any of you felt a void in your heart last Friday with no pop chat, but it's good to be here. I was at a wedding last week, so yes, we are so back. Kyle's here. Kyle is employed. We're going to talk about that. Amy's here. Yeah, let's catch up. It feels like it's been a while. So happy to see you guys. We are going to jump into things. It is Friday. Thank you, Chris. A Little Circus by Britney Spears. Instrumental, of course. Can't go wrong. Hello. Wait, Chris, how did your contest go with the Jags? All eyes on me in the center of the ring, just like a sir. So my best friend, her favorite part of that song is the like that's the only part she'll sing in the background. Oh my goodness, Dakota's here. Day is made. Everyone here knows Dakota is a day one pop chat friend. Like, he is the reason pop chat continued because he was the only person responding to my questions one day. Paula's here. Dakota, we really need to catch up. I need to know what you're up to. Yes, we're celebrating Kyle getting a new job. He had a nice summer of fun employment, I think, became a dad, and now he's back in the swing of things. So, see some familiar faces, but if you are new here, not even if you're new, you might be new to others in the chat. Tell us who you are, where you're joining from, and what you do. So happy to see you, Danny. Danny, what's the weather getting like in Boston? I heard it's been kind of wet and rainy over there. Exactly. All the usual suspects. Monique is back. My favorite marketer. You're officially a marketer, Monique. I know. Dakota, have you been to a live stream version yet? I think maybe. Oh, got laid off on Monday. You know what? I think that's just so better things can fall together, but I am going to keep my eyes and ears open because you deserve, for now. And you're back at Pop Chat, so that is a silver lining. If you're new to me, my name is Brianne Fleming. I love all things pop culture and marketing. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell, really. I don't have too many other interests besides the Backstreet Boys and yeah. I'm pretty simple. I host a podcast called Making the Brand where we talk about the intersection of marketing and pop culture. I teach branding and social media at the University of Florida. I live in Jupiter, Florida with my husband, Sandy, and our daughter, Thea, and we've got another one on the way. So yeah, I'm shifting from marketer, creator mode, instructor mode to just doubling down on mom mode. It should be interesting. Chris, for the London contest, 2 winners declined, 1 ghosted, but we got $76 million in new deposits from people who entered. What? He works for a bank, right? This is for a bank. It's not like you're profiting that much, but it's, that's just activity from your customers. That's awesome. Other contests are going great. Seeing people happy rules. Yes, it's fun to be Santa Claus in marketing sometimes. You get to shower people with gifts. So if you haven't yet, please introduce yourselves because unlike what my beloved Backstreet Boys say, I do care who you are, where you're from, and what you do. Yes, Dakota, you love a good live stream. You've been to one. Yes. Dakota does his Twitch streams and daily vlogs. Thanks, Kyle. Sending all the love. Jesse's back. Friendly neighborhood Twitter dad and part-time bookseller checking in from Southwest Virginia. Jesse, I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday with my daughter and I spent $50 on books. I'm like, what? This is not, it's because our usual Thursday activity got canceled. And I was like, well, what do we do now? I guess we'll go to Barnes & Noble. And yeah, $50 later. But she's obsessed with the Very Hungry Caterpillar and it's a whole series. So yeah. So I'm going to try to stay away from there for a little while, but it's very tempting. Yes, Dakota, take some time to reset. Yes, it's true. I know. There's a little baby bump. I'll show you the bump, guys. It's woo. It's there. Due in January. So it's exciting. But I think I told you this room is going to be the baby's room. So that's very sad. I'm going to have to dismantle my office and this snake plant. That's literally been the only thing I could keep alive, besides my daughter. But the only plant I can keep alive. It's kind of out of control, but it's very low maintenance. All right. Anyway, I digress. What is Pop Chat? There's Dakota. Pop Chat is where marketing and pop culture collide, and a great byproduct of that is we get to know each other beyond our jobs and connect and bond over all those things. So, yeah, that caterpillar is kind of hungry. There's like the hungry caterpillar eats breakfast, the hungry caterpillar eats lunch, and then there's a dinner version. I bought the snacks version. It's a whole thing. So, yes, the whole series. Lots of people looking for work. Let's put it out there. I feel like you have the personality to crush the book with no pictures by BJ. Whoa. Okay, so is that one of those books where you have to be like super animated and stuff? I can do that. Pop cry for the junior marketers. Let's host it. I actually have some interesting live streams and ideas that I think I can maybe handle postpartum. We'll see. I want to do some other monthly streams and things with you. So Train Chat is back in case you missed it. Last Pop Chat was all about our love of trains. I don't know how we got there. It was, I think, because of Yella. You guys know the rules. Just share your thoughts. Have fun. That's really it. Icebreaker question for you is, what's one of your entirely offline hobbies? And I ask this selfishly because I don't think I have any. I don't have any. And I saw a tweet the other day that was like, you're unhappy because you're not doing arts and crafts. I'm not doing enough arts and crafts. Loved the book with no pictures. I need to get that. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, that I don't know. That means I have to go back to Barnes and Noble. It is trouble. I'm just going to order it online. Monique, I didn't know you taught. That's really great. So what are what's one of your entirely offline hobbies? Reading. Okay, that counts. That's a good one. That is a good one. See, but I know. Who are we? Offline? No, we live here. I can't even say like that's not a hobby. It's not for fun. Like I'm a Peloton girly, but that's very online. Chauffeuring my children. This can be a place for us to bond over just being extremely online. I love to update my Goodreads. See, it's good, organization. Oh, yes. Love to cook. Before choosing marketing, I was planning to go to culinary school. Sometimes I get really inspired when I see a recipe online and I'm like, maybe I wish I could just abandon all my responsibilities and just do nothing but cook. Jigsaw puzzles. My dad is FaceTiming me. Jigsaw puzzles. I like this one because it doesn't require a lot of skill. This is something I can do. But my thing is, and Chris, you know this, you worked at a library forever. Can we really get puzzles at the library? Because the thing about puzzles is you buy one and then you don't do it again, at least for a while. So I just don't want like 500 boxes of puzzles lying around. Reading. Yes. What are we reading? It's not a hobby, but I have found myself becoming very obsessed with my yard. I'm becoming a dad. Yes, I would say I'm really into interior design. I've had a good phase with that, but then that just feels like I just like spending money. And that's not great either. Yay, this is going to be reading chat. I went to my Barnes & Noble yesterday to let everyone know I was alive after my eye surgery. Oh, glad you're okay, Jesse. Got myself a little treat in Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones for spooky season. Ooh, we love being on theme. All right, keep sharing your hobbies. Puzzle subscriptions. Okay, you can send them back. Ooh, puzzle trades. I can maybe do that. Staring at the wall. Oh my gosh, that's what I do too. Used to read a fair bit, but these days I just never seem to find the time. I would love to get back to that again at some point. Beyond that, I don't really have any offline hobbies. I terminally keep turning my hobbies into content. I know it's do a book club. Can't trust those library puzzles. Little free libraries. Yes, those are really awesome. All right, let's move on, folks, for a little today in pop culture history. It's Aubrey Drake Graham's birthday. He's 39 today. 39, who knew? And I have to ask, is this like the most gift music video? Hotline Bling, possibly. So if you see Drake, he's 39. A little book chat area in the Discord. So many ideas. Do you have your white New Balance dad shoes yet? You're not a real dad until those bad boys turn green. Oh, yes. I'm dying to know Jesse's answer. So that's a famous birthday of the day. Let's also do a pop culture rewind. On this day in 2006, Taylor Swift released her debut album, and she said that she wrote all these songs when she was a freshman in high school. And yeah, Jimmy from Degrassi. Yeah, pretty much. And I thought, is that possible? But you look up the songwriting credits and she's on every song. Swift, 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 as you can see. And happy birthday, Jimmy. In case you didn't see my post earlier, I did some digging on how Taylor Swift promoted this album back in the day, and MySpace was a big part of her strategy. She dedicated at least a half hour a day on MySpace trying to track down the people who are helping me out and saying thank you to them personally. I'm a junior in high school. This is how we campaign. I basically told anyone I could about the award. And yeah, she said this after she won Best New Artist at the CMAs. So yeah, she loves to release in October. Tomorrow is actually the anniversary of Speak Now, the original. So audiobooks. Yeah, I'm a big fan of audiobooks, but I'm like, that's still online. I don't know. Whatever we have to do to read, I'm all for it. Also, Pop Culture Rewind, it's the anniversary of Bleeding Love. And I actually was listening to that while putting these slides together. And it's still so good all these years later. But little trivia, who can tell me who wrote this song and does not get enough credit for it? Thanks, Amy. Thank you so much for checking it out. High School Emotions. Yes, it's like her diary. Was catching up on songs from bands part of the When We Were Young Fest and learned that Taylor collaborated on a song with Boys Like Girls, and it blew my mind. Oh, we'll have to dig that up. It still blows my mind that she did like that parody song with T-Pain. That's a good one. But who wrote Bleeding Love? No New Balances for Jesse. We'll see, maybe in the future. So I know this, I think I was still downloading music at the time. Still pirating things illegally. Sorry, Leona. Does anyone know who wrote the song before I move on? You know what? StreamYard sometimes has a delay. So I'll give you guys a second. Yes, Jesse McCartney. Jesse McCartney and Ryan Tedder, I learned, who's like behind almost every song, it seems. Yeah, does not get enough credit, in my opinion. Ryan Tedder is the GOAT. Did anyone watch that show Songland? I think they only did it for like 1 or 2 seasons, but Ryan Tedder was on it, and it was so good. It showed like the songwriting process and the creativity behind it. It was so interesting. That didn't last. All right, trending topics for the week. Did anyone watch Sabrina Carpenter on SNL? It got a little controversial, but not too ugly. Um, she was kind of called out for this performance of one of her songs. I know the delay drives me nuts. Me too. Me too. It's not too bad today. I think there's a good, not a huge lag. Um, so she performed and hosted SNL. Oh, Kyle used to watch Songland. Let's bring it back. And an actress named Rina Sawayama, she said, sending love and light criticism to Sabrina Carpenter because during this performance, as you can see, she's standing on something in Japanese culture called a tatami, and you're apparently, oops, not supposed to have shoes on it. So she, kind of gently said, big love to Sabrina, but fellow artists, creative teams, if we are clearly referencing culture, hold on, I can't read this. There we go. If we are clearly referencing a culture, please can you do so with the research, respect, and care it deserves? Shoes on tatami is jail. I thought she was hilarious. Yeah, I need to watch some of her sketches. This is really the only headline I saw from it. No, I did see I did see like the QVC one with the travel pillow. Oh, that was funny. Whoa. Interesting. We love a fun fact, Jesse. Benny Blanco is behind a lot of songs also that I was not aware of. So, just a little nudge to Sabrina and the team that, she wishes, wishes that they did their research. So it got me wondering, as marketers and creators and just in general, before you put your ideas out there into the world, what does our research look like? So what kind of research should marketers do before they release a campaign or idea? What's kind of your checklist to make sure you're not misstepping as much as possible? A lot of things you can't predict. um, but some things you can. Some things you can see coming with a little thoughtful research and doing your best to understand context and things like that. So that's my question. What kind of research should marketers do before they release a campaign or idea? Yeah, I thought it was valid, and I appreciated that it wasn't an attack. We can have a conversation. Benny's been writing for like 10 years before he came out into the limelight. Yes. I think someone helped him get into the limelight a little more too. Yeah, is that really Sabrina's fault or would it be SNL or NBC's fault? She did say, um, she being Rena, she said fellow artist creative teams. So she didn't, address it to her directly, but she thought maybe her team should do a little more research. I would say it's more NBC's and SNL's potential fault if it was a sketch, but this was a performance of her song. This was during the live music set. So I think that kind of absolves SNL and NBC a little bit. I imagine. I don't know. I would think that she would have some of the creative liberty in her own, performances versus maybe the sketches are a little more, written for her. This is another example, Lathan says, of why having diverse teams is so important to get different perspectives. Also, with all the info at our fingertips, it is all there for you. It is true. It is true. And it just kind of, I'm clearly not Japanese, but it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right with the shoes. This also reminds me, did I do a post about this or I put this in my newsletter last week actually? Does everyone know or remember that Kim Kardashian's brand Skims was originally called Kimono, and some of the leaders in Japan like wrote her letters asking her not to use it, and out of respect for Japan, she changed the name to Skims. I feel like a cultural background check is a must if you're paying homage to something like this. Yeah, exactly. No matter how funny an idea you think you have is, let at least 5 people read it before you hit send. And if you still have some doubt, run it back and try again. Yeah, I think it's so it's freaking Jeeves. At least ask ChatGPT. um, yeah, I think what's I gonna say about this? Like just understanding the context of what you're doing. I always think about was it DiGiorno pizza, that iconic tweet where there was that conversation happening on Twitter about domestic violence, and the hashtag why I stayed was trending, and victims of domestic violence were coming out and saying why they stayed in these dangerous situations longer than maybe they would have liked. And DiGiorno didn't know that's what the hashtag meant, which I'm sure many of you have heard about. It's like one of those textbook examples. And they said, you had pizza, hashtag why I stayed. So yeah, just take a pause, take a breath. Take a breath, folks. And speaking of that, I didn't find a way to incorporate it in here, but how about Kristen Bell and that post to Dax? That was, oof, she was under fire for that. Chris has something I've learned to pay a little more attention to researching before releasing date-driven campaigns. Oh, religious holidays. Real bummer to plan a release or launch on a day that is more meaningful to your audience than your promotion. Yes, I think, yeah, especially if it's, a religion maybe that, doesn't, it's not one that you believe in or celebrate. Like it's easy for those things to potentially get missed if you're not doing that research and checking. Yeah, it's super insightful. So I often joke that anxiety is my superpower working in our field because I weigh every possible reaction and angle to a post. Yeah, it's really what we have to do. Sometimes things get just twisted in a way that, Danny, I bet you're really good at it, but sometimes there's things you just never could have seen coming. Crazy that she posted that, but even crazier that Dax said that. I know. Really dark humor there. And Nobody Wants This season 2 just dropped with Kristen Bell, and I was curious if that benefited the show because all press is good press. If you have thoughts on that, share it. Yeah, you don't have to jump on every trend. Sometimes it's just fine to say nothing. Exactly. All right, friends, what do I have for you next? There was a really interesting article, an interview with Hailey Bieber about Rode and how it became a $1 billion success story. You may remember that it sold to Elf Beauty. I think Kristen was an innocent mistake. She didn't deserve all that. Yeah, I know. It's like one of those things where, you're joking. It's very dark, but one of those things you don't say outside your home. I feel like there's some things that are sacred and that we just keep to ourselves, maybe. I don't know. Can we get context on what happened with Kristen? So she posted on Instagram, I think it was it Dax Shepard's birthday or her birthday, her husband? And she was like, happy birthday to my husband, who said that in a million years he would never kill me, even though he wants to kill me. I'm definitely butchering it. I don't want to take it out of context, but it was some joke and reference to him wanting to kill her and hasn't yet. And did you see that Dateline commented and was like, we're screenshotting this for future episodes, hopefully not, knock on wood, but yeah. And then everyone got upset because it was during October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Yeah, I think she turned off the comments. Go down that rabbit hole if you must, but yeah, she was getting some flack for it. Whew. So Hailey Bieber did an interview with the Wall Street Journal and had some interesting things to say about how she grew this brand. She said, in building her business, Bieber says she didn't want a licensing deal or collaboration with an existing brand. She said, I had lent my name enough times to see how it benefited that company. I knew for a fact that if I'm doing this, I have to be the majority owner. So she was like, no, I'm not. I'm a celebrity, but I'm not just going to partner with any brand. This is going to be my own. And it made me think about, kind of the position that most of us are in working for a company, and your skills and your talent and expertise is benefiting that brand, which is a very kind of transactional thing, but we're all happy to, be employed when we're employed. But it got me wondering, how are you kind of building things concurrently? What steps are you taking to independently grow your personal brand or name, maybe independent of your employer, or if you're a freelancer, an entrepreneur? How are you growing your name? Because that's really what was important to Hailey Biebers. She didn't want just her likeness to be benefiting another brand. She wanted to build something on her own. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for the link. Oh, she skipped the Today Show. Yeah, I want to find some articles about the reaction to Nobody Wants This season 2 and if this affected that. This makes me think about the Victoria Beckham doc on Netflix. Be honest. Oh, wait, the Victoria Beckham. Oh, tell me more. What does? Oh, like how she wanted to build her own fashion brand. Yeah, especially kind of stepping away from the Spice Girls and wanting her own identity. So, what steps are you taking to independently grow your personal brand or name? Because at the end of the day, jobs come and go. It's good to kind of build those portfolios and do something for yourself so you have something to fall back on if you need to. Amy, I think you're doing great with this. I really want to get more active with posting on LinkedIn. Food for thought. Maybe something here at Pop Chat inspires you to talk about it more or share something you talked about here as a jumping off point every Friday if you would like. But yeah, I will be following along, and everyone connect with Amy. Lathan says, I'm always networking and talking shop. I wish it would lead to new work, but I'm still early in my career and am better in real life than on the page. Need to meet someone who will give me a shot. Yeah, Lathan, do you have a portfolio and all those things? Yes, Dakota, I've been doing a daily vlog for over 732 days in a row now. That is just the most impressive thing. I don't think I've done, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just so consistent, as well as live streaming 100 plus hours a month, building my little community and the support network that is completely untethered from my professional work. That is so fun. And Dakota, you're still doing that on Twitch. How's that working out for you? I feel like Twitch is kind of evolving a bit. Monique, I've been trying to network with different people, trying to learn what interesting things are out there, what people are doing, and how they got there. That's so genuine. I love that. Getting to know people here too. Networking with like-minded professionals, shout out to Pop Chat, and taking on side projects to sharpen and diversify skills. Ooh, I was just thinking, Danny, that I want to take more little certifications here and there. Like I feel like I'm not doing enough to stay sharp. Benjamin's here. Hi, Benjamin. Honestly, not enough. I have been contemplating posting more of my own content and trying out different stuff. Other than that, trying to network more. Benjamin, do it. I feel like I was just thinking that I posted something ridiculous the other day. I don't know what it was. Something silly. I'm just like, this LinkedIn is my sandbox and I don't care. Just experiment. We're all just throwing stuff at the wall and having fun and kind of finding our way that way. So Kyle, I'm doing such a horrible job of growing my brand. I get so caught up in helping clients or work that I put myself on the back burner. It's like a catch-22. I get that. It's almost like just finding that one thing that you can still maintain. I mean, not professionally, but I feel this push-pull since becoming a mom that I'm doing a bad job growing other things that I wanted to prioritize because I don't have the time anymore. But Pop Chat is like the one thing I could still do along with my newsletter. And I'm just trying to become okay with that. And like, what's one thing you can commit to stay relevant and still show up and see and be seen kind of thing? Nathan, that is so relatable. What did I miss? Nathan. Oh, yes, Lathan, thanks for sharing your portfolio. Dakota's vlog is so good. It really is. No, I post something stupid on LinkedIn every day, write a stupid blog about nothing called Brand Daddy. Yes, I'm a subscriber. Just started making stupid videos to post on LinkedIn. All sorts of stupid stuff. Follow me for more of the most unhelpful content on LinkedIn. See, I'm a subscriber. And I forgot who said it, but that's like one of the like best words of wisdom I've heard is that we're all not doing certain things because we're afraid to look stupid. Like, don't be afraid to look stupid. Who cares? Do the thing, put it out there. Sometimes the people that look stupid are the ones that are holding back. So if you're in the arena publishing and making content, like, who cares? Jesse, I'm not even sure I am right now. I started moving towards starting my own business and then panicked and haven't done much. I have a big podcast idea that I'm always thinking about, at least a little bit, but it's all very scary. It is, Jesse. Let us know how we can help. We need more of that voice. Are you doing more voiceover work, Jesse? Twitch and TikTok been multi-streaming since April. Dakota, I need help. Do you think I could stream this on TikTok also? Pop Chat? I thought with the orientation it would be weird, but someone once told me they're like, this would do really well on TikTok, but I don't know how to do it. And I don't know if StreamYard lets me. So if you could DM me and help me, that would be great. It's hard to even start building a portfolio when you don't have real professional ground to build on. Oh my goodness, we're getting into it. So my students say this all the time, and it's like, you can become and be seen as an expert in something just by talking about that thing, even if you're not directly working in that thing. Like, just start remarking on what other people are doing and have a point of view and an opinion and just keep doubling down on that. And you'd be surprised the little expertise and niche that you carve out for yourself. There's a chance you're going to offend someone no matter what you do, but if it's not a culture you know, might as well not touch it. Yes, going back to question 1. Sorry for the delay. Brianna's here, diversifying her portfolio. Amazing. I know you've got a lot going on, Brianna, with your live streams and your newsletter, and aren't you doing a podcast too? There are so many free opportunities on YouTube to push your skills forward. That's how I learned to use Adobe Suite, edit video and audio. Yes, it's all there. Oh, look at you, Jesse, staying sharp. Awesome. Brian, you're growing a human. Don't worry about growing your brand. I need to tattoo that on my forehead. I saw a tweet that said that pregnant women should be called, don't just say that you're pregnant, say that you're bodybuilding. That's what I'm doing. I'm a bodybuilder now. I'm going to add that to my LinkedIn. Interest, ADHD. I know. I do this, get bored, do that, get bored. Yes, I get that. So yeah, Kyle, especially being employed and being a new dad now, it's like, what's that one thing that you can still do? Looking stupid is my bread and butter. Ooh, thank you. How to beat 95% of people without being a genius. Thank you. I will be bookmarking that. If anyone needs help, please reach out. I love yapping about growing personal brands. I have tons of resources. Please reach out to Brianna. She's the best. And she's not lying. She has like, don't you have an ebook? Plug your ebook, queen. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Critique other projects, lending your slant. Yes, getting people to understand how you think and just what you can contribute. Yes, book recs. Chris, you said something about book recs up here. Sharing book recs personally and publicly, need to get consistent with sharing online, making it too complicated. Yes. So hold that thought, Chris, because I'm going to talk about book recs in a second. Oh my gosh, you all are just so exciting. Jesse said, I need to move on. Oh, we have a friend on YouTube. Come on over to LinkedIn. That's where all these questions are happening. We're on LinkedIn, friend. I need to move on to doing more voiceover. I did video on TikTok, reading Shakespeare. I loved those voiceover challenges that you used to do. You better be doing audiobooks with that voice. Yes, we need that to happen. All right. I love talking to all of you. Gonna move on though. Did anyone watch this short snippet interview with Michael Jordan where he says he hasn't picked up a basketball in years? It was just very kind of sad to think about. And he says he still loves the game like you wouldn't believe, and he wishes he could take a magic pill and go play basketball right now. But what is he, 60? I think he just turned 60. But anyway, he's kind of stepping back into the spotlight and doing this partnership with NBC. And he says, you never really know when you're in the prime of your career how much time you really don't have for family. That's what I have time to do now. I mean, the most valuable asset I have is time. So it's probably why you don't see enough of me, because of that time I'm trying to spend with family members and things that I've been missing out on for such a long time. This is maybe a personal question next, not so much a marketing question, but while we're talking about personal branding and family and all these things that we're getting to know each other over, I'm curious, what is a creative pursuit or skill that you've left behind to make space for new chapters in your life? And for me, without a doubt, that is my podcast. Sadly, I have not recorded an episode since my daughter was born because it's just me alone with her during the day most of the time. My parents are about an hour away and they want to help, but I'm like, no, you're too far. I feel bad. And it's just been too difficult for me to reliably schedule interviews with people and know that she's definitely going to nap at this time and I'm definitely going to be free and there's going to be no disruptions. So my podcast is on the back burner for now. Makes me kind of sad, but we're growing and doing other things. And this is a new chapter of my life. And as Michael Jordan said, family is the most important thing. So what is something that maybe you've shifted or moved around in your life to make space for a new chapter? And what has that been like? I guess when you're the very best in the world at one point, playing for fun just isn't fun anymore. No, he loves it, but yeah, I think it's just age, We all wish we could be in our prime all the time. It's kind of sad, especially in sports, the way you have to age out of them. Yeah. While you're thinking about this question, I mean, I always compare this to music, how fortunate musicians are that for the most part, your voice stays the same, even in old age. You could be in your 70s and 80s and still making music. Your voice might change slightly, but you're not incapable. Dakota, yes, I used to do all kinds of action sports photography, made quite a name for myself in it. I pretty rarely use my cameras for photography anymore. I think it's just interests and priorities shifted. I'm still being creative, just in a new way. So Dakota, do you miss it? Are you okay with that new chapter? We have a friend here trying to find me. Yay. If you are able to go to my posts, you should see where I promoted the RSVP link, and then you can join there. Just let disruptions happen. Get back on the horse. I know. I feel bad when I'm interviewing someone. I really need to, or want to be as present as possible. This is me getting back on the horse. Rich is doing Bob chat for now. So I hope that's enough. And yeah, I hope people aren't forgetting about me. I'm here. I'm doing something, but this is about it. Danny, my career in sports was one of the hardest decisions I had to make, but it had to happen for family and my mental health. Remind me, Danny, what you were doing in sports. I know you won an Emmy. Was that for sports? Yeah, that's very hard to admit. Like when you love something, but it's taking a toll. I miss it some, but I'm enjoying streaming and what I'm doing now so much. Yeah, and all that camera know-how, it came in handy. Jesse, writing, screenwriting and fiction and poetry, whatever. I feel like I have to be focusing on something that's moving things forward and benefiting my family. So I kind of let everything else just disappear. Now I have my therapist shouting at me about, isn't doing good for you going to be something good for your family? Oh, that hits. That hits. Oh my goodness. That's a great point. You never know what could blossom out of that. Noah, I used to play in bands with other musicians. Now I don't have time for that stuff. I only play music by myself. No, why don't you start a TikTok or do a live stream where we can all listen? You don't have to play by yourself. We'll all join the stream, won't we? I think we will. Daddy duty. Oh, I get that. Bye, Kyle. Thanks for joining us. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess the moral of the story here is even Michael Jordan had to move things around and he turned out just fine. And it's okay to miss certain things and, be okay with how life ebbs and flows. But if there's something you want to get back to, find a way to get back to it. All right, friends. And yeah, Rich, thank you for the motivation. I'm, one day. Or I could just turn these pop chats into podcasts, and that's the cheat code, I have a follow-up question. So Michael Jordan is paying it forward now. He says, I have an obligation to the game of basketball, adding he wants to be able to pass on messages of success and dedication to the game. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to just use his voice, his influence, his platform, if he can't be on the court, to at least play it forward with what he knows. Transmedia sports coverage for the Rio Olympics. Yeah, we have an Emmy winner in the house. Helped cover 2 Olympics, 2 Super Bowls, and had some very memorable sports moments. You know what? That's a good time to retire from sports, Danny. And the work you're doing now is just, if not more powerful. Yes, we have the Winter Olympics coming up. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, it's a good idea. So, oh, you found us. Yay. How can I be more creative? Well, hang out with us here at Pop Chat. We're all getting creative. Created and led a book club for library marketers. Wanted to keep it up even after leaving the library, but handed it off. Have wanted to start another one, but it's a lot of work and needed to make room for family and career. And you're still reading, Chris. You're still reading, and maybe we could do our own little book club. So my question for you is, what big or small ways do you pay it forward in the marketing industry? They should give Jordan something like Manning Cast, but for basketball. That is so cool. I would watch that. I'm just so fascinated by Michael Jordan. Like, just to hear people who are the GOATs just talk. like I just hang on their every word. Michael Jordan lives in Jupiter, also where I live. I never run into him at Aldi. Why isn't he shopping at Aldi with me? Yeah, we don't really frequent the same places, but I'm hoping to run into him one day. So what big or small ways do you pay it forward? And yes, absolutely connect with me on LinkedIn, friends. Go for it. Yeah, what big or small ways do you pay it forward in the marketing industry? Or maybe you're realizing that you're not as much as you would like to. How would you like to pay it forward? How can you be, I don't want to say you have to be a full-on mentor, but how can you leave this industry better than than you found it? Any engagement goes a long way. 'Tis true. Speaking of leaving chapters behind and just having to make space for other things. I mean, I'm going to have to take another semester off of teaching in the spring semester when I have another baby. And that's challenging, but I would say that that's how I pay it forward, is through teaching. Yes, sharing the knowledge we have and not gatekeeping here. I'm always transparent. Yeah, and the great thing about that is giving away the farm is actually the smartest idea. I know some people hold things back because they think they're giving away the farm and you don't want to share your secrets, but that's how you build trust. So Lathan wants to pay it forward more. If I ever got into a position where I can, I want to meet with new marketers and give them the chances I am or was not given. There's someone, her name is Sydney Allen. She will guest lecture a lot. She, I think, even hosted, or she shared this amazing deck with me just about careers and social and what she wishes she knew. Even just writing a post like that, like what I wish I knew when X, Y, and Z. Those little things, sharing your little nuggets of wisdom, yeah, can help. Try best to support and uplift those around me. We're all just trying to navigate this industry. If it's a small recommendation, a LinkedIn connection, or just encouragement. Yes. Yeah, even leaving those recommendations for people on LinkedIn. I wish I had the time to do that for all of my students, but yeah. Embrace that not everyone is going to like you. Stay consistent, be authentic, DM me, pop chat, and I'll send you the ebook for free. What a gem. What a gem. We love an official pop chat discount code. So everyone connect with Brianna, lover of Hamburger Helper, and overall super smart, amazing human. I tell my daughter to aim higher whenever she starts singing jingles and telling me about taglines she hears in the world. Yes. Have us teach your class. Yeah, we should just do a pop chat learning lecture. Give me a job and I'll show you. That's a tricky thing too. It's like we can still pay it forward whether we are gainfully employed or not. I think that's also a great way to stay sharp personally, is to find ways to continue the conversation. Builds trust. Yep. No, really, it's all about being genuine with people, answer questions, help when you can, point them in the right direction when you're not the best one to help. Yes, and admitting when you're not the best one to help. All right, keep sharing your thoughts on this. I've got a couple more questions, so I'm going to keep this going. But it's Feel Good Friday. Share some good news. Random pay it forward comment. My goal is to one day give the commencement speech at my alma mater. Oh, that is the best goal. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. I think you could do it, Danny. People will be lucky to learn from you and all that wisdom up there. So Feel Good Friday, share something good. I am going to share, speaking of book recs, a book recommendation. And Monique, I fell back on my word. I know last pop chat, everyone's like, share book recs or do a book rec post. And I didn't. So we're going to share a book rec here. And it's called Nobody Wants to Read Your Shit. Coming in hot. By Stephen Pressfield, who is also the author of The War of Art. He says, when you understand that nobody wants to read your shit, your mind becomes powerfully concentrated. You begin to understand that writing and reading is above all a transaction. The reader donates his time and attention, which are supremely valuable commodities. In return, you, the writer, must give him something worthy of his gift to you. Boom. So add that to your reading list. My goal is to never miss an opportunity to connect others to further their marketing profession. Yes. And even just like celebrating others' success and like creating a culture where this industry doesn't have to be competitive and we can all celebrate each other. I think that's really special. I had someone who worked for me at the radio station when I was in college who recommended me for a job and told me that she did because I was a mentor to her in school. And then I teared up. So fun fact about that. My husband got his job now because of an intern that he took in that was going to go intern in the accounting department. He's like, well, this kid doesn't want to be an accountant. He wants to do what I do. So let him come work for me. And now my husband works for his intern's dad at a different firm. So It's really wonderful things can happen if you're genuine. Yes. Cool stuff I've done recently. Got to photograph Mickey Mouse's visit to our children. Oh, everyone go follow Danny and his employer and all the amazing things that they're doing at the Children's Medical Center, please. Dakota, I got a really amazing DM from a follower on Instagram who told me about how my videos helped them when they were not feeling the best about life. Really shows that even if you are a small creator, your impact can be huge. It's beautiful. Keep doing it. How many? We're going to just let us know when you hit 1,000 too, Dakota. That's coming up. Come in this space knowing no one cares, but how can you make them care? That's the challenge. Yes. What's in it for me? Asking ourselves that. So I just also wanted to share who inspired me to also, besides all of you here, I shared this specific book because of this great post by Julia from SEMrush. She had this great carousel about how to compete with other B2B brands on social media. And basically, it had a lot of the same themes, and it reminded me of that book, Nobody Wants to Read Your Shit, and how to just say things that really compel people to want to engage with your content. So go check out this carousel format for skimmers, say it faster, make it about them, add an expected element, go follow her. STEMrush's social is awesome. They have the best memes. And yeah, just wanted to give a little hat tip to her for inspiring the book choice. Okay, we've got a couple more minutes. Let's get into some industry news. Aerie is one of the brands that's vowing not to use AI in their marketing imagery. And Business Insider wrote this post that the hot new trend in marketing is hating on AI. And it's like not using AI is becoming a marketing message and a selling point. For Aerie specifically, it was their most liked Instagram post ever. They said in 2014, we stopped retouching. Today, we commit no AI generated bodies or people, real people only. We believe transparency isn't a trend. It's our promise to you. No retouching, no AI, 100% Aerie real, created by real people. So people really, no pun intended, they liked this with over 40,000 likes. This was true transparency, as they said. So my question for you and the response that this has been having is, what does Aerie's stance say about how society views AI in advertising and culture? Good. Yeah. More specifically, like, is there a place for AI in marketing? And when does it give us the ick? When is it not okay? When is it allowed? When does it cross a line? Dakota, I'm a certified AI hater. Love to see some brands bucking the trend of everyone using AI for image assets. Yes. What other brands are on here? Heineken, Polaroid. I mean, specifically Aerie. I mean, they sell, lingerie and stuff like that's, you don't want AI for that. Yeah. Brady's hockey. Oh, hockey organization, because I already post about hockey way too much. Aw, look at you, Danny. Heart of gold. So yeah, when does AI cross a line in advertising and culture? The place for AI in marketing is in the garbage can. AI always gives me the ick. Oh boy. Are we okay with people using it for copy? I think it speaks more to their commitment to being a genuine brand and showing real bodies. Monique, I'm glad you brought this up because it just aligns with Aerie so much and who they are as a brand. And I think more brands need to lean into that when they're making decisions. It's like, who are we as a brand? Let's stick to that. People know AI is going to take creative jobs and that AI is also terrible. So avoiding AI also gives you better content. It's a win-win. Ugh, this grosses me out. Yeah, AI influencers have become a thing already, unfortunately, and it has crossed a line. Did you see? I almost wrote about it here. There was like a documentary about how AI is taking people's jobs, and it was hosted by this woman, and they did this hour-long show, and at the end of it, it was like, by the way, I'm your host, and I'm not real. I'm AI, and it just like blew people's minds, and just goes to show that it's a slippery slope. All the fake Spotify AI musicians piss me right off. Yes, or the ones making fake songs with real people's voices. Its place in marketing is specifically in ideation. It's a wall you can bounce ideas off of that can bounce them back. Once it comes to production, there need to be people involved because people are the purchasers. Jesse, I love this answer. Let me give you my sparkle sound effect for the day. Where is it? Where is it? Not applause. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. That is so perfectly articulated. And there you go, Jesse. Now you have homework and you need to make a LinkedIn post elaborating on this for copy starter, but it should never be the final copy. Yes, that makes sense. AI is a tool. It should be used like spell check. It should not be the creative. However, I will say I like to use ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas. It's cool to use to bounce and grow ideas. Yes, I think these are great distinctions. AI provides useful tools, but when it's used without the friction, that creative humans exert on ideas, that's a huge miss. Ooh, we have a book rec, Valuable Friction. Ooh, by Robert Rose. Ooh, I like the use of the word friction here, and I think it adds interesting context. I was at the ManyChat conference last year, Brianna says, and the final panel was from little Michaela. She's an AI influencer who's made the tech duo millions who made her. She's had partnerships with some of the world's biggest brands. When we put it this way, it's almost like, how is an AI influence? Well, it is different, but I think about like, okay, the Geico gecko is not real, and he's making the brand millions of dollars. I think AI human imagery just continues to fuel industrializing insecurity. Yes. Well said. Imperfection, all those things. All right, friends. I did have one more question for you, but I think, oh no, someone really wanted this question, but I don't think she's here. I'm just going to dance over the headline really quick, but Gen Z is setting workplace boundaries, saying it's PR, not the ER. And they are saying that most things aren't an emergency. So my food for thought, I don't think we'll really get to it today. I am going to have to shift into mom mode. Oh, yep. Baby's on the monitor. She's awake. Yeah, they're just saying that, yeah, younger generations are rejecting a frenetic approach to work that can create undue stress and cross work-life balance boundaries. The Gecko Gecko is real to me. Yeah, so check out this article in the Washington Post. Ask it. Okay. How do you determine what counts as a work emergency, and how do you communicate that to your team or manager? I think what's happening, or what I gathered from the article, is that we're working for some toxic people that just make everything high priority, which I think is different than a true emergency. Like when I think of an emergency, I think of a crisis. But like if you just want to move at this crazy speed and there's not really a good reason for it, and you're just burning out and stressing out your employees, I think that's a bigger issue. This is our homework. We have to answer the question via a LinkedIn post. Yes, please. And tag me. I would love to read your answers, or think about any of the questions that you answered today. How can you Elaborate on that in a LinkedIn post. As a 40-year-old Gen Zer, I support this. Yes. Gen Z is doing what we all should be doing and disconnecting our sense of personal identity from our jobs, build life and joy external of our professional lives. And it goes back to what we said in the beginning, that we all need to be doing arts and crafts, apparently. So on that note, just stay safe out there in those crazy workplaces. I don't know. I don't think an emergency and a deadline are the same thing. The Instagram post missing a caption is not a crisis. Yes, your lack of planning is not my emergency. And it's just like, why are some of these deadlines arbitrary? You know, if there's no real reason where we have to have this campaign launched now, can we shift it? That's different from a crisis and an emergency in my case. Oh yeah, AI influencers here. Thank you guys so much. On fire as always. Such thought-provoking opinions and insights and just smart people I get to chat with every week. Thank you so much for joining. Next Friday is Halloween. So I hope you'll spend your Halloween with me. I will dress up. Finding maternity-friendly Halloween costumes is a challenge, to say the least. But I will be in full costume. And if any of you are in costume, I will invite you to join me live on camera if you'd like. You can be my co-host. I'll send you the link, but no pressure. Something that is not an emergency that's treated like it is: email. Email is not an instant response medium. I tell bosses that I'm not necessarily going to be instantly responding to emails if I'm needed right away. Phone is the way. That is such a healthy boundary, Chris. And I was just thinking about this morning, that one of the best things you can do is like schedule your email for later if it doesn't have to go out like at 6 a.m. or whenever you're reading your email. Like schedule it during working hours. Like little things like that are so appreciated. I could be a mummy. That's so funny. Mamacita. So funny. Oh, Feel Good Fridays are still coming in. I'm sorry. Break out my witch hat. Yeah, who wants to join me on the stream? We could make it just like a Halloween webinar Zoom thing where we're all just here hanging out. I'll have to see how many seats I have on StreamYard. All right, friends, 2:03. I do have to run. Thank you so much. You guys are just the best. And you make my Fridays. So I'll see you next week for Halloween. And if you want to come on camera, let me know. It might be a little chaotic. Oh, next week I'm also announcing a new Pop Chat sponsor I'm very excited about. So stay tuned. Wayne's World. Brianna, remind me to send you this guy that dressed like Billy Madison and his wife was Miss Lippy. Yeah. So, okay. See you next time. Thanks for joining the stream as always. And I'll see you on Halloween. Everyone have a great weekend. Bye-bye.